man. That was a good beginning there.
It was a good beginning, yeah. I don't think we caught it, though.
No, we didn't. I was just freestyle scream singing.
It was good. You were talking about the water, and someone was like a tampon or something. I don't remember it all, but it was good.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys missed that.
Breaking news on this show, or not even breaking news. I got a request on Instagram for a follow.
Yeah.
And it's by Book of Worms. And I'm thinking I'm going to take it because their bio just says outer space heavy metal from Richmond, Virginia.
That sounds badass.
Mm-hmm.
That's right up our... Oh, we are starting a cult, by the way. That's great. I'm Jake. That's right up our alley.
Yeah,
they're warm folk.
They're into like doom metal and shit. That's my ideal scenario. So Book of Worms. I can't say I've listened to you yet, but I'm coming for you.
We're coming for you right now.
I'm going to see what's crapping in that neck of the woods. You know?
What's going on there?
That's my life. But, this is the show. We are starting a cult. We are back with a brand new episode of our show. How about that?
It's true. Nothing really specific. Maybe just talk about movies, maybe some music in there.
Yeah,
Who
we'll
knows?
see where the world takes us.
Just a little bit of a respite after the BTK.
It's been a while since we've had one of these very lax episodes. The last one we did turned into an entire hour on cryogenic freezing or cryonics or whatever.
It's true.
Cryonics.
It's like, what was it, Alcor?
Yeah, Alcor.
And they're emailing you. They're going to take your body.
The Life Extension Society. But yeah, this one, we're just going to be chilling, telling you about some movies we were watching lately. I can honestly say I haven't been like necessarily attentively watching a lot of movies, but I've seen a crazy amount of movies lately.
No, it's kind of the way you got to do it sometimes. Just throw it on, have something on while you're on your phone. Whatever.
That is the way it works. I'll say this. I have to rewind a little bit. The first movie I'm going to talk about. When it originally came out, the first part of it, like the remake, I don't remember even when that was, but we went to the drive-in movie theater and we saw it. Jake, I believe you were there, weren't you?
I don't think I've ever been to a drive-in to this day, so I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I've never been there.
I could have swore you were there.
So you watched it through a windshield of a car.
Yeah, we did.
I
was
wasn't
outside.
there.
I was sitting outside.
Well, that sounds better. No, I wasn't there.
But yeah, so we went there. I think tickets were like, it was like $5 or $10 a person or whatever.
Nice.
And it's a double feature, So like that was the first movie. That was the one everyone wanted to see. It was brand new. It was the hot topic. That was what was going on in the world. So we went. You might have to say to yourself, what the fuck are you talking about, Grant? Well, the second movie playing was Annabelle Creation, okay?
Oh, my.
And we left. We, as well as probably about 45 to 70% of the audience, left the drive-in.
After seeing it?
Stupid. Yeah, we didn't want to watch the other one, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse me, I had a cashew in my mouth.
Yeah, cashews.
But we didn't want to see it. We weren't really interested. So we left. And recently we've been revisiting the Conjuring universe, I guess you could call it, pretty much out of order, like whatever we stumble upon, we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, this is one of them, sure.
So obviously, like the Conjurings, I didn't rewatch those just because I had watched them pretty recently, and I was like, I don't want to get burnt out on them. Like they're cool for what they are.
Yeah, even though they're filled with the Warrens' filthy lies, but
but that's theater.
That's neither here nor there. Yeah, they're good movies.
But anywho, we started to get into it. We watched The Nun. I know you were there. We watched that.
Yeah, I saw The Nun.
We watched that here, and that was surprisingly not as bad as I thought it could be.
No, honestly, I thought it was like a completely different movie. I think I was mixing it up with like another one of their movies with the nun in it.
Yeah.
Or something like that, but yeah.
It was surprisingly good. It really kept my attention. It was nowhere near like the best film in the series, but it caught my eye, and it was like, okay, this is good. Anywho, we keep going, and we finally stumble upon Annabelle Creation. I'm pretty sure they added it to Netflix, and we were like, yeah, neither of us had seen this. Let's watch it. I can honestly admit that might be the best one in the entire series. I would even put it above The Conjuring itself. Like, it's that good.
Damn, dude. What?
It was shockingly good.
I've seen, like, Annabelle movies, but none of them really stood out. This one tropes all the other ones?
Oh no, this one decimates that. It was
wow.
Trumps,
I mean, yeah.
Now, to be fair, keep in mind, I was watching this. I was laying in bed at like 4:30 in the morning while this was on.
Jesus
so
Christ.
Like I'm watching this, and it's pitch black, and it's like, you don't need to know the details of what my house looks like, but we're in like the very back, like that's where the room is, and so it has a little creepy feel to it on occasion, and I'm watching it. And I'm the only one awake at this point in the movie, so I'm like, well, I mean, I've been watching it for about an hour. I'm not gonna just go to sleep. I'll finish this shit. And there's one scene. I won't even spoil anything. There's a scene where there is a normal-looking situation going on, and then it quickly turns into like this horrific, terrifying thing
involving a doll.
And no, not a doll.
Like
a monster.
Good Lord.
And I will say it wasn't a jump scare, but it was one of the scariest things I've seen in recent films.
Wow.
And it could have been the way that it was like the time. I was the only one awake. I'm laying there in bed, kind of exposed.
Very daunting.
That could have played a role in it. But I honestly, in my head, I was like, I kind of want to turn this off. This is a little, weird. I want to turn this off right now.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I put on The Simpsons.
Holy shit.
Because I was like, I'm too tired. And I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Navi's fucking in his crate, in his bed, and he's whining. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Oh God.
Because it got really loud, so it woke him up.
Yeah.
So he's whining, and I'm like, oh fuck, okay. So I was like, I'm putting The Simpsons on. I'm just going to bed. I'm gonna forget this. So I came back to it and I rewatched from the scene previous to that, and I watched the rest of it, and it was great. I have to say, it was a great movie.
Not what I expected the end to be like when you started telling the story.
No,
about Annabelle, an Annabelle movie? Jesus, that's awesome.
Annabelle Creation was absolutely amazing. Then we watched another one. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe it was Annabelle Comes Home?
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Because, see, I've seen them out of order. So, I remember you and I watched
one. I think the one that we watched was, the same apartment or something.
It was weird.
That it originally happened in, I don't know.
Because, the Warrens weren't involved in the one that we had seen originally at all.
She was, given to this couple, and it was just ensuing. And then there was some woman at a bookstore who was like, I'm an expert in voodoo.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so, it wasn't this one. It was the other one that I hadn't seen. And this one, it was interesting in its own way because it centered on the Warrens' daughter. And she was home alone for the weekend with a babysitter. And the babysitter's friend releases Annabelle, unintentionally.
It's always the babysitter's friend.
This shit happens to them, in the house, because of that. That it was nowhere near as good. It was good, I guess, for what it was, but I would not, recommend that movie to people.
All right.
But certainly Annabelle Creation, if you have any inkling into the Conjuring universe, you got to check that one out because it's really good.
All right.
You are going to like it.
And just know if that's the first one you watch, you're probably going to be slightly disappointed as you keep going.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're 100% going to be disappointed. The Warrens aren't involved in it, but it gives a really incredible backstory, and then it makes sense for the movies that come later, in the timeline,
Pretty cool. Creating their own little universe there.
Yeah, there's things that I noticed from movies I'd seen previously that just they were creepy, but they didn't make sense to me. It was oh, that's a weird choice.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because of this,
Oh yeah, dude, I watched a movie recently. It's Candyman, the remake of Candyman.
Oh, the remake.
Dude,
yeah.
It is so fun. You just reminded me of it because it was just so well done. The storytelling was so good.
Interesting.
And it reflected the actual creation story of Candyman.
With the bees.
Just with the bees, all that stuff. Dude, it was. Have you seen it?
Not the remake.
Dude,
no.
You have to.
Remake,
there's some
reboot,
good
whatever.
little winks to Chicago living.
Oh yeah, dude.
The cops show up. I'm like, hey, I've seen those guys.
Is it does it take place in a current Chicago setting?
It does, yeah, and it follows an artist how Candyman was, the original one.
Because that's sort of the original. What was that Cabrini Green, which is
Cabrini Green.
I mean, they tore that shit down in the late 80s, I think.
Yeah, so and it was like I think it started with a guy coming through people's walls because the walls were made so shoddily that you could like literally walk between them.
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
that
here
kind
you
of
go.
thing. Yeah,
It's like those Japanese partition doors.
but no, dude, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it because I knew it was like a continuation. It wasn't like a complete remake. It was so good. It was so fucking good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I do want to check that out. I'm too like anti-paying for things that like I'm not desperately needing to see. I'm stupid when it comes to that. I'll rent a movie that came out like 20 years ago and I can't find anywhere. But like a movie that's new that I want to see, I'm like, I'll wait till it's free.
Yeah, you'll wait 20 years till you can buy it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know like what that is, but
you're a collector, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I have a very, very small collection of strange
quite
DVDs.
the overflowing shelf area.
Yeah, we actually had to move things into a different shelf because it was too much and it looked sloppy as shit.
Yeah. Half your house is full of boxes just full of DVDs.
Yeah, DVDs are fucking everywhere. So if you guys have any cool DVDs that you don't want, you can send them to me because I collect all that shit.
Or just any like movie recommendations at all.
Well, yeah, that's always a given. You guys have to do that. No one does, but you have to.
That's true. Dude, you know what movie I like returned to recently?
What?
That still totally fucking holds up is Alien.
Oh yeah,
the original Alien movie.
Man, what was that? Like 73 or some shit?
It was like 70s or early 80s, something like that.
Dude, it's funny you mentioned that because I just watched a movie. It was like a romantic comedy or whatever. You know how that shit goes. I don't know what it was called. But for any rom-com fans out there, you'll be like screaming into your headsets like, "It's fucking this, Grant. Answer it. It's this."
Wait, describe it. I might be able to.
It was Kristen Bell was like the main girl.
It gives me nothing.
And she was like a nerd in high school that got picked on by this like popular girl. And now it's like, years later, she's really successful. And her brother is marrying her high school bully. So she like goes back for the wedding.
Good Lord.
And the mom is Jamie Lee Curtis. And then like the mother-in-law is Sigourney Weaver.
Nice.
And that was like the best part of the movie to me.
It's just like, oh my God, it's Sigourney.
It was like, dude, this is like the two female horror movie leads. Like that's like this
just
is
like
who it
in
is.
a rom-com.
Yeah, and they were like
it's kind of like throwaway characters a little bit.
And they kind of had their own like enemy, high school drama. Like it, to be honest with you, I was kind of on and off. Like I was like, it was good for what it was.
Yeah, it was one of those movies you just throw on.
I'm not a huge like rom-com fan.
Rom-com.
It has to be like something good. But I give it a chance. I'll give any movie a chance.
Just throw it on.
I'm not opposed to it.
Why not?
I watched one with my fiance that she loves. It was called like Mr. Right, with Ellen DeGeneres of all people.
Yeah, right.
I had never seen her in a live action movie like at all. It like was really.
She
weird.
have like a main character.
She was like the main woman.
Wow.
And it was about like. I'm probably going to explain this super incorrectly, but she meets this dude that's like badass, and she's like, "This guy's awesome." They like kind of start like falling in love.
Wait, she plays like a straight woman?
Yeah, it's very out of character for her. But they do that, and then what happens is this guy gets like really weird, and he starts like just being like creepy and shit, and then like. She gets like a restraining order, and then he like kidnaps her and tries to take her to Mexico.
Oh my God!
Like it's like a funny, like it's not like brutal, it's like goofy, like oh what the hell?
Like they're talking like matter of factly, but just like, well, of course I'm gonna do this. Like,
yeah.
Why would you do that? But meanwhile, she's like tied up.
Yeah, it was one of those like weird, goofy. Like it was pretty funny. I fell asleep during some other movie, and I woke up and it was like just starting, and I was like, all right, well I'll watch this. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, I've been like all over the spectrum on film lately. I haven't really watched many. I can't tell you any memorable horror movies that I haven't seen before. That I've seen.
Did you see *Malignant* yet?
Mm-mm.
Still?
I have not.
You know what? I rewatched it.
And you're like, you know what? I take back everything I said.
It's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. But like I have been talking to some people about it, and I've come to agree with some of their opinions. Like, some of the practical effects in there were not quite as good as you might expect from James Wan, especially after his work with everything he's done. He makes amazing movies in the horror
look
genre.
at Saw, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I still did like Malignant, but that was a great point that someone at work brought up. They're just it's not anywhere near what his level is.
Yeah.
A lot of the practical effects in there. But it is a good story, I think. But it's a fun romp.
Here's the question that I don't know the answer to at all, so I could be 100% incorrect here. Is James Wan the director, or was he just the executive producer?
Good Lord, we have to look that up. Because I thought he was the director, but I've never checked.
Because that could make a big difference. They throw that shit, they'll throw names out there a lot, and if you don't actually, look at the credits, it completely alters the movie, Because I could be wrong. I don't know.
Here, wait.
I'm not sure if he directed that or not. Let's see. We're getting confirmation.
Director James Wan.
Oh, so he did direct it.
He did.
So then, yeah, that's a very fair criticism to make then.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I feel like he's just
$34 million was his budget.
See, here's my thing, too, with horror movies, is there's no such thing as you can't really be a Steven Spielberg type director of horror movies. It's just not plausible. And James Wan, I'm not saying he's not good, because that dude, he's good. He makes a good film.
Yeah.
But it's after a while, you can only do so many things as a horror director, And that's why I think it stays so relevant, because there always has to be new people injected into that scene.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't even I don't know, the acting. It wasn't even I can't think of the word. The execution, I guess. The execution of the film and the story itself. It wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
But it wasn't up to the budget that he has worked himself up to.
Yeah.
For for reasons unknown. You know what I mean? I still think it's a good movie. I liked it.
All right.
But
so does it make the recommendation list for Jake?
I'd say, yeah. It's worth a shot.
It makes it in there. I respect that. I still got to get to it. See, for me, it's hard. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm a rewatcher. I find something I like and I'll rewatch it.
Oh, yeah, you rewatch it every year or so, and you're just this is good.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I act like I haven't seen it. Even though I know the outcome, it's it's the little things that I'm this is what I like, you know?
Yeah.
And it's less stress. It's sometimes, especially with movies, because TV shows are a little different. You have a lot of time, so if you miss a little bit, people are going to be oh, you missed this scene. It's well, I've still got the fucking gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a movie, it's you really, if it's new and you want to watch it, you really have to be, focused.
Yeah.
You have to want to watch it.
It's a nice, compact story. And when it's over, it's over. It's not like a TV show, and you're just well, they'll probably harken back to that later on or something. I don't know.
They'll recap. It's
do a little recap.
With a movie, it's different because, I think phones, that's the problem with cell phones for me is I don't use my phone a lot, but if I'm not doing something, I'll play on my phone or I'll go look at stuff or read an article. And movies are that weird middle ground where it's I'm actually doing something, but it feels like I'm not.
And I'm staring at a screen.
Yeah, so it's I'll just pick up my phone. This scene looks like it won't be interesting. I'll just look at my phone, and then it's I actually just missed
and then you miss
super relevant plot
the MacGuffin. Point. Yeah.
But
dude,
that's my thing with that.
I've revisited another movie, Wayne's World.
Oh yeah,
the original Wayne's World.
Classic.
Yeah, dude. Is that the snake or you? That scene, yeah.
That movie is just
fucking Rob Lowe.
It's just enjoyable.
It is. It's good.
There's something to me about a comedy, and I'm going to go on a little tear here about comedies.
You're just why are they so funny?
I'm going to say that people may or may not agree with me on this, and I don't care. This is 100% my opinion, and it was further confirmed last night because we were doing the Patreon episode, and when we walked out, my fiance was watching the other guys on TV.
Yep.
Not on TV, on our television.
Yeah, on the yeah.
So we came out of the room, the studio, whatever you want to call it, and we were oh, all right, whatever, we're gonna see what she's up to. And it just sucked me in. Like, I was just cracking up.
Oh yeah, dude, Will Ferrell treating his hot wife like she's a piece of shit is really funny.
I don't know what it is about that movie, just in its entirety. That is, to me, that is the best comedy movie that has ever graced our lives.
Really? Never heard you say that.
I would put that movie up against any other comedy movie, and if you've never seen like the other guys, and pick another comedy movie that someone thinks is like the greatest, and you haven't seen either, I would bet money that the other guys you will laugh at harder. Because it has something for everybody. It's just like this weird...
I've only seen snippets, dude.
Really? Dude, it is probably the funniest movie
wow.
on the planet. It is... I can't explain. It's just great.
Wait, is that the one where... Oh, I don't want to give away spoilers of like... Do two people die like almost immediately in that movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. I think it's... Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing.
No, the other guys is great. And it's like nonstop. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love comedy movies, even like Superbad. That's another one that I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah,
40-Year-Old Virgin.
It's a mainstay.
That's another great one. But it's like there's scenes in that movie that are peppered in that there might be something that you chuckle at, but they're not like laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
But it sets you up for like a greater joke. I'm not sure how it's possible, but the other guys, they don't have scenes like that. Like, there's always something that is just ridiculously hilarious. And then the next scene happens, and you're like, all right, this is probably one of the, more chill scenes.
All right.
And it's just as funny. Like, I don't know how they do it.
Dude, all right, so this is kind of like referencing the Patreon episode that we did yesterday. There's a Patreon link below, by the way.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, check out that episode. We talk about... the Christopher Nolan Batman movies versus Marvel in general.
Yes.
So is the other guys to you, is that Batman, the trilogy, to, what is it, Marvel is to fucking like Step Brothers or something? Because I feel like that has a huge cult following. Everyone's like quoting Step Brothers up and down.
Yeah, see, that's a tough movie for me because I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it's not funny, because it is. Like, it's a funny movie. There's shit in there that is just great. Like, it's gold, But I would, without a doubt, I would pick the other guys every day of the week. Like, every single day of the week.
All right.
That is how much I find that movie to be fucking hilarious.
Both involving Will Ferrell there.
If you've never seen the other guys, you need to make it a priority because you will love it. I promise you.
They'll probably have to be doing that pretty soon then.
I absolutely promise you. Like, you will not understand why you are laughing, but it's just that funny,
That makes it funnier. Yeah, you're just going to laugh yourself to death.
Yeah, yeah, you will.
You want to kill yourself with a smile on your face? Watch this movie.
And comedies are hard, especially they're hard to judge because it's like everybody finds things funny, and I might not think it's funny, you might not think it's funny, but somebody else is like, this is gold,
And like, you can still think things are funny, but not maybe laugh at them. You just kind of like enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
It's like the Three Stooges are like the Marx Brothers. I'm not like out loud laughing, but I'm like, this is nice.
Dude, I watched like the reboot, like the in color movie Three Stooges, like the newish one.
Oh God, I don't even know if I wanna.
I'll tell you this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like a good movie, but it was enjoyable. Like, it had its moments for sure.
Do you think it did the Howard brothers justice?
No, probably not. Like,
No?
I'll say that. Probably not, no. But dude, the beginning scene just like stole. I'm going to spoil it a little bit for you
guys. Go
guys.
ahead, yeah.
But they're kids and like they're in an orphanage. And they're lined up like, Mo, Larry, and Curly. And they're like pretty much like trying to show off to like be the one that gets adopted. And the parents are like looking at him and they're like, yeah, these kids are weird. This is strange. And then they bring out like another kid that like, little Timmy. He's just like a normal guy. He's not weird.
Yeah.
Not like quirky or fucking obnoxious.
He's a child.
He's like an adorable, just like little kid. And they're like, they fall in love with him like immediately. And the dad, like, they're going through the line. They're like, all right, which one are we going to adopt? And they like bend down and they're talking to like the little Timmy, the little adorable kid.
The adorable guy.
And they're like, Timmy, you're going to remember this day for the rest of your life. and he's all like happy, and he starts crying. And he's like, "This is the day that you get to tell Mo that we're adopting him." And it was just like, it like immediately like just.
All right, that sounds like a Simpsons style bit. I like that.
It just like totally threw. Like I was like half watching it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And that happened. I was like, I gotta rewind that. Did that really did I hear that correctly? And it was just fucking gold.
Jesus.
And then the joke is that they adopt. I don't know if it was one of the kids. I forget. But they adopt was like Mo. We'll just say Mo.
Yeah, we'll just say Mo.
And so they adopt him, and they're in the car, and they're like, "Today's it's your birthday for us. Like this is the day that we have you." And they're like, "You can have anything you want for your birthday." And he's like, he's thinking about it. He's like, "I really want to go back, and can we adopt
Larry and
Curly?
Curly?
Can we adopt Larry and Curly too?" And they're like, "I don't know, Mo. Like that's a lot of work, and like kids cost money." And he's like, "No, don't worry about it." He's like, "They don't want to go to school. Like, we'll share everything. Like, we don't need, anything special. It's just, like, important to me." And the parents look at each other, and they just immediately turn around and just unadopt him.
Oh, what?
And then they go and get Timmy instead.
Oh, my God.
And, like, the whole 10-minute intro, it sold it. Like, I don't care what happens the rest of that movie. That was just, like, perfect.
Jesus Christ. Does Shemp make an appearance? Is there a Shempster?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I didn't watch the whole movie because I started falling asleep probably about an hour or so in, but at that point he wasn't in it yet.
Wow.
So I can't confirm or deny. And I'll admit, it's one of those movies that I didn't like go back and I'm like, I have to finish it.
Yeah.
So that should tell you a little bit about what kind of movie we're talking about here.
That's kind of what I expected out of a Three Stooges modern day reboot.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever watch like Three Stooges, like the old stuff, like as a kid or anything?
Yeah, I used to watch it like because it would be on what is that like? For us, it's like Channel 9 or 26 too.
Oh,
like
what
the
is it?
the CW or like fucking
WCCW or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that,
like all those like they played like syndicate. It was like Frasier and Seinfeld, and then like Saturdays it was like Svengoolie and like the Three Stooges and shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like TV Land playing like Bonanza and all that shit.
Yeah, like I used to watch that like when I was never really when I was a kid, more when I was like a teenager, like 12 to 15.
Yeah.
Because it was like I always wanted to watch Svengoolie, and I'd be like, well, the Three Stooges are on first, so like I'll just watch that too.
Dude, those nights were the best because like my dad like loves the Three Stooges, so we would watch it all the time, like all throughout my childhood. And those nights where it was like Three Stooges for like 2 hours, and then Svengoolie comes on, and then it was like always a movie that he knew about, and I was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's hilarious. Watch this."
Dude, Stoogapalooza, like that's
Stoogapalooza. That's what it was called. Yeah,
that's the shit, dude.
Stoogapalooza.
I love that stuff.
And then yeah, Svengoolie. I'm sure we've talked about Svengoolie before, but that's like a Chicagoland sort of basic cable sort of thing.
Yeah, he's our Elvira. That's like what he's
there
like
we go,
the
yeah.
local Elvira.
Yeah, he's a rubber chicken guy. He was doing rubber chickens before the internet got a hold of him.
Who's that real famous? What's his name? Joe Bob Briggs, that other guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the national version. Like it's kind of like they're like the host of a movie, so they'll play some weird night between 1920 and like 1970.
Yeah,
and they'll play some weird like obscure horror movie from that time, and then like Svengoolie, like on a commercial break, he'll cut in and like comment on it and like do silly shit.
Or he'll like cut in and like put his face on one of the characters' heads and then like start talking like, "Isn't this insane? We'll be right back."
Yeah, like he's just like a movie host, I guess. If
it was the ultimate like, what was it, Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
I think it was Saturday nights, dude. That was how you spent it as a kid.
Dude, and they fucked it up too because I remember I used to watch it. And if I missed it, like I would tape it. And if it was like a good movie or something I wanted to see, I'd like, watch it. And then they switched it. And I don't know what made them think that was a good idea. But they switched it to like 11 a.m. on Saturday.
What?
And it was
Who's
like
fucking doing that?
It was like Svengoolie in the morning. And like they wouldn't play it at night. And that lasted for like a couple months. And then before I even, like, registered that, it was back to Saturday night. And I was like, yeah, this is, like, what people want.
It's a scary movie hour. Dude, this guy's got his face painted like what is it?
Like Juicy J, Violent J.
Violet J, yeah, sort of like Violet J and like Alice Cooper mixed, you know?
Yeah, he's like a lot more friendly.
With a slash hat.
He's a little bit more on the plump side, but he's a plumper. But
he's from Berwyn.
But I wonder, like, because I'll go online to like their website, and like, because they put up like their schedule of like what they're gonna play. And, like, there's people that, like, comment and shit. Even on, like, Facebook, I'll see it once in a while. Like, there's people from, like, all over the country that, like, love Svengoolie.
Yeah, dude. People probably grew up with him like we did.
And I'm like, I don't know how. I'm sure there's ways to get it. You know, like, if you're in a fucking another state. Like, yeah, it's not your local network, but I'm sure you could find it somehow.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's been around for, like, decades. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not, like, the Svengoolie that we know is not the original Svengoolie.
Yeah, he's actually, like, the son of the original. But I'm pretty sure Svengoolie himself is dead, I think.
Oh, he's gone.
And then, yeah, like his son is the new Svengoolie. He's like the ultimate cult image, you know? Like,
he is.
Svengoolie's just the shit. Like, people love him.
He's an accessible crypt keeper, honestly.
Oh, yeah. He's the human version of that. He's like,
he's making jokes, but it's not constant puns that, like, don't stop.
Yeah, and he's not, like, hideous. I mean, he's a little gross looking, but... That says more about him personally than, like, you know, the makeup.
Oh, he's a good guy.
You know, he's probably fucking badass. Like, he's the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And he knows all this, like, weird shit from, like, the 40s. Like, who would know that?
It's like teenage wolf man meets a giant pterodactyl or something like that. It's like, I never heard of this movie.
Yeah, like, I didn't know this
just obscure things.
But, yeah, and then they do, you know, they'll do, like, themes. Like, they do, when King Kong vs. Godzilla came out, they did... I mean, it was probably about 3 months where they played, like, all of the Godzillas and, like, King Kong.
Yeah.
And then, like, the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. So they do. They, I don't know how to say that without putting do and do together.
They actually do.
Yeah, that's good. They actually do
to avoid the
interesting things.
The poop. Dude, I'm surprised that I never saw Creature from the Black Lagoon on Svengoolie. I'm sure he played it. But the first time I ever watched that was in college, like the first year that I moved out.
Really?
And it was just on a Sunday morning at like 9:30. Carlton, my roommate at the time, he was just like, yeah, I'll just throw this on. We were just like making eggs. I was like, this is badass.
Oh, that's a great movie.
This is a great movie. It's just in like a single bay or something. Like, it's awesome.
I don't remember why, but we used to have it on VHS, and we would watch it like all the fucking time, like nonstop.
Hell yeah.
And I love that movie. It's great. And it's not remotely scary, but it's fun.
No, it is fun. And there's just the shots of him like underwater and shit.
Yeah, and you're just like... Ooh.
Seems revolutionary for the time.
It does. Well, I wonder when that came out. That was... I mean,
it was black and white, so probably like at least the 50s, but I guarantee it was before that.
Yeah, I have a... I doubt, I mean, it's not in a package or anything, so you know it's not, like, valuable at this point. Here. But I have a little action figure of the Creature from the Black Lagoon. And
don't you have the Wolfman, too?
Dracula.
Dracula, okay.
Yeah, I have those, too. And I found those in a really funny way, because they were not mine. They were my cousin's. And they were lodged in the back of my grandmother's piano.
Yeah, that just sat in your fucking room for a while.
Yeah, and after like 30 years, my grandmother gave the piano to us, and we took it, and then when we cleaned it and like dismantled it, they were in there. And I was like, this is really cool. And I texted my cousin, I was like, these are like yours? He's like, yeah, you can like have them. Like, I don't care.
Oh, it came out in 54.
54.
54 was the premiere.
That is a significant... Oldie.
Year.
Oldie.
Yeah.
It's an oldie.
Significant oldie.
That's what, there's no other good way to say it. It's old as shit. It's an old as fucking shit movie. How about that?
Could be dirt by now. But it's not. It's living in our memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You should watch that movie, everybody.
It's a classic. It's one of those, like, if you're into horror movies and you actually genuinely mean it, there's a few staples that are pretty common among everybody. It's obviously there's no necessity to watch these. But that's one of them that's like it's very commonly accepted as like as far as a creature feature is gonna go, that's like the tippy top of the list.
No, I'd have to agree.
even, Wolfman and Frankenstein are creatures, but they kind of get their own subcategory.
Yeah.
They get wolves, and they get fucking... I guess Frankenstein's sort of like a zombie mixed with a vampire.
Yeah, but he's different. He's got, name, recognition.
Yeah, and he's not hungry. Him. He doesn't follow the trope of the other two.
Yeah, he's his own category. He's hungry for companionship.
Yeah, and
then he gets it, and she screams. Oh, she screams.
And he drowns little girls in wells and things like that.
Yeah, and by the river, it's like, I want to play. And he's like, oh, maybe not.
No, maybe let's play Can You Die Faster, Bitch? And then she wins.
Yeah, maybe he was like a Lenny sort of character.
Or like
from Steinbeck, it's a mice and men.
Cognitively, developmentally disabled? Is that is that the appropriate terms now?
I don't know. I know what you're saying, though, and we're past it.
Yeah, we're past that.
So, yeah.
We're in the future now, guys. We don't talk like that
Futuristic stuff.
But the creature features, those are good. You know what movies I want to really revisit that I feel like don't get enough credit?
What?
Tremors.
Dude, Tremors is good.
Now,
Tremors is good. Who's the explosives boy?
Bert.
Bert, dude.
Bert
is the best character in those movies.
Bert's a fucking madman. Now, when I say Tremors, I mean the original trilogy, the first three. Obviously, 1 and 2 are outstanding. 3 isn't bad by any means, but then they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now, and I have not even.
No, yeah, it's like Halloween and Friday the 13th and that shit.
Yeah, it's I don't know where to even begin to digest this.
Yeah,
but I will say I'm very excited for the new Texas Chainsaw.
Dude, yeah, you were saying you wanted to do a little sort of viewing party next week for that?
Yeah, we'll be.
I am down as hell for that.
We will be doing that here. It looks like a little bit of a different situation here. They're kind of playing off one of the older movies.
Yeah, he doesn't have a chainsaw. He's a hedge trimmer.
He's the shrub
man. It's actually
man.
a blow dryer that he puts little needles in.
He's the shrub man. But no, it's it seems, at least what I'm gathering from the different trailers and the big trailer.
Yeah.
It seems that they're doing sort of a connector to the old ones, where the main survivor comes back to either get revenge or, save somebody, blah, 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 things like that.
Or he, finds himself in the same situation. It's he can't still be
Oh,
here.
It's a woman, baby. It's a woman, baby.
She can't. Wait, she's he can't still be here.
Yeah, something like that, but it's very present.
This person can't still be here as I am gender ambiguous.
It looks like it has potential. Now, I've said that about past movies, and I've been nothing short of extremely let down.
Yeah, remember the Meg? Good Lord.
I'll still tell you how much I hate that movie.
The Meg was dog shit.
The Meg
still is.
The Meg and The Dead Don't Die are two movies that I will forever, even if I watch them in 5 to 10 years and I'm I was wrong, I will die before I admit that I was incorrect about those films.
Yeah, we made it permanent. We talked about it on the podcast. We talked shit about that movie for so long.
Yeah, then we had Alex, the one person I've met that actually liked that movie. We brought him on the show simply so we could just shit on his beliefs.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I love that kid. I don't feel bad for doing that. He deserved to hear it.
Sometimes life is hard,
He deserved to know that he was incorrect.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of the campy fucking horror movies, but that one was it was too far. It had too much star power to live up to. I don't know, the star power as opposed to the storyline, it just did not meld.
No, they spent far too much money getting the actors to be in it, and they didn't spend enough money on a writing team.
Yeah.
Or some sort of directive person
that
could be wait a minute, this is kind of a dumb idea. Can we figure something else out?
Dude, you know what kind of, the campy horror sort of thing that I'm actually looking forward to?
Uh-huh.
That I really hope doesn't follow in the footsteps of The Dead Don't Die, is fucking, I think it's Studio 666, the, Foo Fighters movie.
Yeah, you were telling me about that last night. I didn't know that was a thing.
Did you watch the trailer yet?
I haven't. No,
it's
coming out about it.
Oh, it's coming out at the end of the month, and it looks good.
Yeah,
I think it looks like a Tenacious D-esque sort of thing, which makes sense. They did work with each other. He was Satan. Dave Grohl was Satan in Tenacious D's movie,
oh yeah,
right?
he fucking. he does everything, man.
He does fucking everything. But yeah, dude, you should watch that trailer. It looks great.
No,
we should watch that.
That'll definitely be a film to check out and see if it's worth it.
Yeah, it's not quite as like high budget of a campy sort of like horror film as like Shaun of the Dead, maybe. Mm-hmm. But it looks like it has a lot of potential.
And especially with that, like, there's a market for that simply because Dave Grohl's.
Oh, it's Dave Grohl. He was in Nirvana. Are you shitting me?
I mean, that dude could wipe his ass with a fucking baby wipe and sell that baby wipe, and somebody would buy it for an obscene amount of cash.
And then give it back to him.
Yeah, for him to sign it.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
But yeah, so that'll be an interesting thing to see. It's a weird kind of crossover. Usually movies like that, like, even like Tenacious D, like, they have a following, but they never get big,
Yeah.
They stay very, very in their home base.
Like, I would have never known who Tenacious D was had I not seen the movie.
Oh, really?
And then I realized, I was like, oh, they like tour and actually play shows.
You're like, this is real, huh?
This is badass. It's just Jack Black and Cage.
It's pretty much
Kyle.
Just like their fucking show that was on HBO turned into a movie.
Basically.
That's all it is.
But, dude, when was the last time a fucking band made a movie at all? Like, I know the Beatles would do it. Elvis did it a lot.
Yeah.
But then after that, Led Zeppelin got one, I think.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think they made it themselves. I'm not sure. The song remains the same, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But then, decades go by. And then just Tenacious D and now Foo Fighters. Maybe that's the next new thing.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool after superheroes, just bands making movies.
I know, like, Ozzy, he was... never a movie like about him per se, but he was in a lot of movies like in the 2000s, late 90s. The fucking Osbournes were on TV, so that was like huge.
Yeah.
But for those of you out there, there is the new Evil Dead comes out this year.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe it is April or May it comes out.
Bruce Campbell still not involved?
No, he is done. And people are so pissed about it, it's like, who fucking cares?
Like, he's one of those actors that became one character for his entire life. Let him rest.
Yeah, it's like we got more than enough material. If you bunch all of the Evil Dead material together that is Bruce Campbell as Ash, you get damn near 10 hours or more.
Especially Ash versus Evil Dead. Like, what else could we be asking for?
Yeah, you can't...
We got a full, TV series.
Yeah, you had at least 10 to 15 hours of Evil Dead material where he is the main character.
Yeah, we were just watching that earlier today.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
You can give him a break. Like, they're not trying to pass the torch. They're not trying to rewrite history. They're just trying something new with an established title.
Yeah.
And normally I don't really agree with it, but I mean, obviously I'm going to check it out. There's
no, yeah, I saw
I
saw the original remake of the. I don't know what year it came out. 2016, 15,
I want to say.
Really? Well, either way, it was good. It really kind of bumped up the meter on the whole realistic aspect of it.
Oh,
but that's to be expected.
Yeah, it bumped that up, and
it became a true scary movie, and not just we'll make the sequel a joke because this was kind of campy.
Yeah, and the reason I like the remake is they stuck with only practical effects, and there was little to no CGI in that film.
That's terrifying.
The number is astronomical. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But they used well over 75,000 gallons of fake blood.
Yeah, dude, the last scene where it's literally raining.
Yeah.
Just blood everywhere and it's pooling. It's they're just in a swamp of blood. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's all practical effects. So that's
What about the Deadite in the basement cutting her tongue in half?
Yeah, that was practical as well.
Oh, God.
Well, because I have the DVD.
That scene still makes me squirm just thinking about it.
And on the DVD extras, they show a lot of that. And yeah, they gave her a prosthetic tongue, and then it was a real knife. So it was well, just cut it.
Yeah, it was a giant razor.
Yeah, it was just cut it, and that'll be the scene.
Yeah.
So it's that shit. Even if it's not a great movie, there's things to appreciate about it.
No, very much so.
And I'm kind of hoping for the same thing with the new one. I don't think it's gonna blow anything out of the water and be this is amazing.
Yeah.
But
I will say, if the new Texas Chainsaw follows in the footsteps of the remake of Evil Dead, I'll be totally happy.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a good movie that's like rewatch. It's got rewatchability. It's like entertaining, and it has kind of everything you'd need in a film. You know.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna win you any awards now, but
no, dude, horror never gets into the awards.
Yeah, literally, unless you're Jaws or The Exorcist, or maybe
perhaps Us, or that.
Even them, I don't think they won, did they? I don't think they were nominated.
They got nominated. That's big for the genre.
Yeah, and because I think, as far as, if I'm not mistaken, the only two horror movies to ever win like an Oscar were The Exorcist and Jaws.
What about The Shining? Did Kubrick get in there?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I'm almost certain that didn't.
But
even like The Omen and like Alien and shit like that, like those like really well-made 70s movies.
You like Rosemary's Baby or anything?
No.
Really?
As far as I know, I could be wrong. I'm not claiming I have this information. But I remember I did like a project on that or something, and
on like horror films in general.
Yeah, and it was like astronomically low. But what's funny is that it's consistently one of the most popular genres of film throughout the history of film.
Well, yeah, the couple hundred people that decide the whatever award show at hand, whoever decides those like winners. They don't like being scared. They're too old to have a heart attack.
Yeah, those two old dudes, like from the Muppets, like the guys up in the tower. Yeah. That's who I imagine like votes.
It's the fucking peanut gallery, yeah.
But it is funny. Like when you look at film in general, horror movies have always remained very consistently popular. They're not like the most popular. They're not award winning and like life altering, but they always draw the crowd.
I feel like they kind of get synced up with like the Michael Bay sorts of like thrill seeking sorts of things.
Yeah,
they kind of get lumped into that sort of corner of films.
No, I 100% agree, because pretty much how it goes is like
it's like a jerk off motion with your hand to a lot of people.
Even that one, I couldn't tell you the name of that movie we saw the last time I was in theaters. That movie with like
with the big like crack and bone monster that was invisible.
Kid, and like he was on his phone. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't even remember the name of that, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
And for horror movies, they could do shit like that where they literally change like a little bit of the story, add this character, slap a new title on it, and it's gonna make money. Like it's gonna make the money.
Yeah. Get the right kid actor that can actually act, and it becomes a good horror movie.
Yeah, not everybody could be Haley Joel Osment, but it's like
it's true.
He was obviously the best.
I sure am not.
But the horror movies will always, at least for now, stay consistent because people like it. It's the same as a comedy. It's like there's not much to it. You just watch it, and it's like.
And then it's over, and then you're happier, or you're sadder, or you have something to talk about, or it adds to your life in some way.
So if I'm to leave you people with any, good movie recommendations, I obviously The Other Guys takes the cake.
Yeah.
Annabelle Creation, that one was just solid. I'm not saying it's going to blow your mind, but you're definitely going to like it if you like the Conjuring stuff.
Yeah.
You'll definitely enjoy that for sure. Then I guess as far as like a romantic comedy, just because I see a lot of those now.
The one with Sigourney Weaver.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying don't watch it, but it certainly wasn't like memorable. I don't even know what it was called. I gotta watch
that again. Yeah.
I legitimately don't know what it was called. I could not tell you.
Well, whatever. Dude, all rom-coms are the same. It's someone who left their town, they're coming back, and then some stuff is going to happen. They're going to fall in love. That's all it is. They leave, they come back, and they're in love.
Yeah,
then they make it work.
Hit that on the head right there.
They just make it work then.
Yeah, then there's a resolution, and everybody's happy, and it's like, oh my God, yeah.
Even the bully at the bar who's fat now is like, yeah, it kind of worked out for me too. Like, in the end, at least.
I want to say I watched, what movie did I watch? It's sort of a rom-com, and it was not great, but it was like, I watched it, and it was enjoyable enough to where I watched the whole movie,
Okay. It was like 50 First Dates or something.
Well, I love that movie.
It's a good
that's
one.
A great movie.
Yeah. The Tape.
But it was, what was it called? Like The Day Of or something. And it was Adam Sandler and Chris Rock were like the father-in-laws of like the two people getting married.
Sounds good.
And it was like Chris Rock was like, he was like a baller fucking surgeon, like rich as hell, and he wanted to like pay for it. But then like Adam Sandler was like just like a regular dude, and he wanted to like, he was the bride's father, so he was like, I want to pay for it.
It's like, so says tradition.
And like it was just goofy as shit. Like there's a scene where like they're supposed to be getting married at like this like venue that was really affordable, but then something happened and they couldn't. So they were gonna move to like, you know, the city hall or whatever, but that's not what they wanted. So like Steve Buscemi's like the uncle or like the cousin or some shit, and he like captures a bunch of bats and he like releases them into City Hall to like try and get them like to postpone the event. Like
Holy
it's just
shit.
It's just weird. Like it's one of those goofy fucking movies.
Steve Buscemi releases the bats.
That's my rom-com suggestion. Is The Day Of, I believe it's called.
Either one. Well, just look up those three actors and you'll probably find it.
Yeah, you'll definitely know. But that was good for what it was.
Yeah, I'll say my recommendations are probably just the new Candyman. That was fucking awesome. Rewatch your old mainstays. Anything that you liked from your childhood, go watch it again. See if it holds up.
Oh, 1,000%.
Of course. You know, I mean, like, come on. We got Wayne's World for me. Alien still holds up. Everything's great. I also started watching The Sopranos recently with Karen.
Well, that's a good show.
So that's going to be our couple show for now.
Just wait.
So I'm finally on that train fucking too many years later.
You are going to be pissed.
What? At the end? I know the end. Everyone knows the end.
See, the ending didn't bother me too much. I'll say this. There's something extremely brutal that occurs to a character that you see.
Okay.
And nothing ever comes of it. Like, it's just ignored for the rest of the series.
This is just supposed to highlight the danger that they're actually in while everything's so funny?
In a weird way.
Because the two first episodes were really funny.
You're gonna be like... You're going to see it, you're going to be really uncomfortable, and then you're going to be like, oh, cool, this is about to, like, get wild. And then it just stays, and nothing happens, and you're like, what the fuck am I seeing?
All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch it no matter what.
It's a good show. It's like any other show. It has its moments where it drags a little bit, but it pays off.
Yeah,
it always does.
Cool.
James Gandolfini, he's the shit.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with that guy.
Yeah. Oh, but, I got one more comment to make. It's not even a recommendation.
And then at the end, let's just say like maybe one or two music things as suggestions, and then let's go.
No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna do it.
I watched a movie called The Incredible Bert Wonderstone.
I feel like I know what that is. Is that with Steve Carell?
Yeah, he's the magician.
Yeah.
And Steve Buscemi's like his partner. Nowhere near a recommendation. It was not a great movie, but there are a few things that just fucking blew my mind. Like, Steve Buscemi leaves and he goes to, like, Africa, and they do this, like a news interview, right? And they're, like, talking about, they're like, this village is so poor, they have no clean water or fresh food, like, they have nothing. And then Steve Buscemi's like, yeah, that's why I decided to come and donate. And they're like, well, what are you donating? He's like, magic kits. And they're like, the guy doing the interview is like, oh, so you didn't bring any fresh water? He's like, no, I'm a magician. Like, I'm bringing magic.
What the fuck do you think this is, newsboy?
I'm bringing magic. And, like, he's just handing out these magic kits to these, like, kids that are starving. And it just, like, was so absurd. And then the other part that just made me laugh was Jim Carrey plays, like, a spoof version of, like, Chris Angel.
Yeah, yeah.
And the name of their show is called, like, Brain Rape.
Instead of Mind Freak.
Yeah, it's like just when I first heard that, like, I was, like, watching it, and they're like, get ready for the new episode of Brain Rape. And it's like, what?
Good fucking Lord.
Like, I was like, I can't believe that. It was great. So that was a really stupid movie, but it had its moments.
You should watch it. I think I saw that was one of those Comedy Central early morning things that I saw.
It definitely will. It'll make you giggle. It won't make you laugh, maybe, but you'll be like, huh.
Like we said at the head of this, it's a good thing to just throw on.
Oh yeah, totally. But that's the movies.
That's the movies. And I'll just say I have 2 recommendations. They're very different in genre. Oliver Tree. He's hilarious. He has some crazy outfits, and he loves scooters. Listen to that. Okay. And then fucking Harm's Way. I showed you Harm's Way. You said you liked it.
Oh, yeah,
we were going to
yeah,
Costco that day. I was like, I'm going to show you this.
I remember that.
So, yeah, just look up Harm's Way and Oliver Tree. And
all right.
Everything in between that is what I like.
I think that's fair. I'll do something similar. I'll throw out Billy Ocean. Obviously, you might know who that is.
Damn
just
right.
Listen to him again.
Nice little singy boy.
It's just interesting. Listen to that.
Wasn't that Chris Rock's little sister's favorite guy in the world, and everyone hates Chris?
I think yeah. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was. So do that, and then there's a very small band, like very small, with like less than like 200 or so like actual followers.
Is this the Book of Worms?
No, well they're throughout there too.
Look them up too. Yeah, why not?
But
they followed Grant. They have to be cool.
If you're into like weird like doom metal that's centered around like smoking weed and drinking beer, listen to Leatherlung. They're a good time.
You got a sticker on your backpack back here.
I do. Yeah,
I've never listened to them.
I bought a shirt from them on their website because it was like, oh, they only made like 100 of them or something. I was like, oh fuck it, I'll buy one. And they sent me like a note and like a bunch of stickers and shit. And I was like, these guys are cool.
Badass.
So definitely check them out.
I thought you were gonna say like Weed Eater or something.
Oh, they're cool too. Obviously, they're always great, but they're famouser. I mean,
they are.
They might have 5,000 fans as opposed to 20.
Yeah.
But so check out Billy Ocean and Leatherlung from me. How about that?
There you go. Oliver Tree and Harm's Way.
There you go.
There you go.
So you got some movies to watch. You got some music you can listen to. And you got a spectrum of everything in between that you could check out.
That's very true. And next week we'll come at you with an actual topic. We just kind of, like I said, taking a little respite here, talking about some stuff we like.
Yeah, enjoy this. Enjoy.
But anyway, you can follow us on all this shit. That's Grant. I'm Jake. We are starting a cult. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're on YouTube. You can like us, subscribe there. You're getting some cool comments there. And so we're on Patreon down below. And our email is startercult@gmail.com. Give us some music and movie suggestions. We're always open.
Absolutely. That's what we love.
So there you go. That's the show, I think.
I would agree.
Wait, hang on. I got to go get Mitch to do bananas.
All right, yeah. So you guys might... Navi is probably going to insert himself into here when the door opens. Mitch. He's calling upon Mitch right now. Mitch is in the other room enjoying the company of my dog and my fiance at the moment. It's very dark out there. I know you guys. It has no relevance to you.
The audio medium,
but it's very dark out there.
Yeah, Mitch is here for bananas, and Navi is too.
Yeah, Navi came in to say boo. So we love you guys, and we'll be back next week as always.
All right. So yeah, goodbye.
Bye.